السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ إن شاء الله طيبين. اليوم إن شاء الله راح ألعب لعبة اسمها Conway Disappearance of لحظة خلينا نتأكد من اسمها. وش اسمها اللعبة؟ Disappearance at Dahlia View. أوكي، لعبة ستوري تحقيق شكلها. Return to start menu. أبغى أبدأ لعبة جديدة، أنا جربتها عشان أشوفها تشتغل أو لا. أوكي، language English. next. subtitle on. more option. okay, back. display. okay. audio. هذه هي البداية. لعبة تحقيق عن محقق متقاعد أتوقع، وفي السنة قديمة يمكن في الأربعينات صارت جريمة، اللي هذه هي 1940 كريسماس إيف، في وقت الكريسماس. وهذا المحقق المتقاعد كأنه يحاول يحلها وهو متقاعد وعلى كرسي متحرك، خلاص يعني منتهي. طبعا من شركة اسمها وايت بيبر، شركة بريطانية، يمكن 5 أو 6 أنفار للمطورين. هذا ليه تقريبا لعبتين من قبل، بس أنا عن نفسي يعني أول مرة ألعب لها لعبة، هذه أول لعبة. شكلها تبشر بالخير، بس يعني ما يندرى. إن شاء الله تكون بالمستوى يعني اللي احنا نعمله، ولا أنا أتوقع تكون يعني قصة على مستوى. created new. اوكي، ما أدري حرامي هذا أو شيء. story جوردن أبوستل. اوكي، سامي اللي اشتغلوا على اللعبة، انيميشن، رسومات جيدة صراحة، كأنها من العاب تلتيل كذي، يعني فيها شوي. كاركتر جيمس بورتون. يعني الظاهر نفس سنة 40، يمكن في مبنى طبع عليه حرامي اللي هو هذا. I need to check. Should we be fine? اوكي، فهو يدخل غرفة الصغيرة، الأب والأم يعني يتجادلوا إنه بروح يشيك عليها، كأنه حاس الحرامي سمع كلامهم خاف. ما أدري وش صار، يعني تخبى في مكانه. جون 22 1954، يعني بعد 14 سنة من هذا اللي شفناه من شوي.
For the best part of my later years, I worked as a private investigator.
طيب،
I'd seen many a terrible case.
هذا البطل اسمه كونواي.
Sadly, most of them unresolved. But in 1954, something terrible and far closer to home happened that I could not avoid. And it happened right here, in Dahlia View.
شكلها الجريمة صارت في هالسنة دي 1954. بس ما ليش راونا 40 سنة 40؟ ما تدري وش العلاقة. يعني الحين احنا في سنة 1954 22 جون الظاهر أو جولاي. وهذا البطل كونواي في شقته مقعد مسكين، الكرسي المتحرك جنبه. صوت شرطة.
The police here. What on earth is all the commotion?
حاسس إن في مشكلة. ستايل invert head tail. طيب والله ما فهمت هالشغلة. أنا حطيته أوف.
Now where's my camera? I need to see what's going on outside my window.
الكاميرا أخذها. استخدم الكاميرا عشان
I can get a
صور.
closer look.
Stop investigating. التحكم شوي.
What on earth is all the commotion?
Zoom. شكلها كاميرتها صح.
Harold Levy owns most of the flats in Dahlia View.
Okay.
I wonder if he saw something.
في شيء هنا.
I wonder if Catherine is with them.
لحظة في شيء هنا كأنه مهم.
Smashed plant pot. I must have slipped through it. I should have come to my window sooner.
هنا في شيء.
Theodore and Annabelle McKee, I believe. I really should get to know my neighbors better.
طيب في أحد هنا.
I'm not zoomed in enough to see.
توني مورغان blood.
That's Tony Morgan's blood. My God, I hope he's all right.
والله حلوة كاميرته. خلته يعرف كل شيء من بعيد.
Chloroform. What on earth?
Chloroform.
Old Mrs. Doer. She's usually peering through her window.
الله إنه كشف الدنيا كلها.
It's past her bedtime. Bound during abduction. Dear God. Charlotte May, Mr. Morgan's daughter, has been kidnapped. A kidnapping right on my doorstep. Who doesn't bear thinking about? Imagine if it was Catherine. Time to pay my neighbors a visit and see what they know.
أروح للجيران. أوكي.
I won't learn much without my notepad.
طيب وين الباب الخروج؟ مو هذا المفروض؟ طيب ليش ما يضغط؟ خلنا نشوف. هو في شيء هنا. التحكم. Okay, something has happened Dahlia View, but what? I need my camera to see. Okay, شفنا. Go to the window. Okay. Talk to the Dahlia View residents in the courtyard and find out what they know about the Charlotte Mays abduction. Okay, في أحد انخطف يعني. طيب يمكن لازم أخذ النوت أول. أوكي عشان كذي ما يطلع. استخدم المصعد يمكن. طيب والله اللعبة أراوغ صعوبة لما تكون مقعد. خلنا لحظة أتأكد من البث. شو طيب وين أروح؟ إكزت يمكن هنا إكزت.
Charlotte May could only be 7 or 8 years old. Why would someone want to take her? It doesn't make any sense.
داليا فيو يمكن اسم المبنى أو الشارع يمكن. شوف خلنا أبدي بهذه. أنا هدفنا الحين نكلم الناس يعني.
Hello, Mr. Conway.
Good evening.
Terrible what's happened, isn't it?
So you know what happened?
They're looking for a kidnapper. A search is about to start in the Pine Woods.
My sister, Shirley, she owns the pub across the way. The searchers are all meeting there first.
What do you know about the kidnapping, Mr. Conway?
Not much. That's why I'm talking to the pair of you.
You should talk to the old busybody over in her big manor house.
Mrs. Doer.
She knows everything that goes on here. I wouldn't be surprised if she saw the kidnapper.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was the kidnapper.
That's an awful
يا
thing to
ساتر.
say.
Well, have you seen her? Always fawning over that little girl.
اوه هذه
All
شاكين
alone
في
in
هذه
that
انها
big
شافت
house.
كذا نابر.
Plenty
يمكن هي
of
اللي
them to hide
خطفت.
someone.
I can see that you've put a lot of thought into this, Mrs. McKee.
A little too much, love.
Well, I'm not the only one who thinks it.
Oh, blast. What time is it?
It must be a little after midnight by now, surely.
The search is starting without me. I have to get my coat. You'll forgive me, Mr. Conway?
Yes, good night.
Good night, Mr. Conway.
We'll talk again soon.
طيب يعني اروح اكلم المرة هذه اللي شاكين فيها. ما في شيء يسرع مثلا، لأن يمكن اللعبة عاطينها تقييم يعني مو لهناك بسبب هالموضوع هذا. هو صدق بيراوك المعاناة بس.
Conway, may I have a moment?
Do you know what's happened?
Never mind all that. Your daughter is a police officer, is she not?
She is.
Here, I found this.
اوه يعني زهرة الداليا، زهرة الداليا اللي هي اسم واردة، نسيت والله ايش اسمها بالعربي. زوم هولد.
What's this then?
A brooch. I found it on the
Brooch.
floor here. It probably belonged to that poor girl. Thought I'd better pick it up before Shirley Downs gets her mitts on it.
What do you mean by that?
Never mind. Perhaps you can make sure it finds its way to your daughter.
I will, and thank you for telling me.
Just doing my duty.
Can you tell me what you meant about Shirley?
Good night, Mr. Conway.
Did you see anything else at all?
Just make sure to give your daughter that brooch.
بنتها تشتغل في الشرطة، تقول يعني اعطي بنتك اهم شيء. البروش هذا لحظة كأنه في شيء اوبجكتيف، معلومات عن اللي قابلناهم. كمثلا أو نشوف هذا بما أننا قريبين. كلم هذا.
Good evening, Mr. Levy. Evening. How strange times we live in when a girl can be taken on your doorstep.
You ain't wrong. It's a bloody mess.
Did you see what happened at all?
No.
لما شوف خشمة كذا.
How well did you know Charlotte May? You lived next door. You must have seen her a lot.
I hope they're going to clean all this mess up tonight. I've got a business to run.
I'm sure this must be a great inconvenience to you.
That reminds me. Rent day tomorrow. Don't be late.
I haven't forgotten.
Good.
أوه هذا اللي ياخذ الإيجارات منهم.
Keep it that way, and we'll get along just fine.
May I ask what you were doing tonight?
No.
ما أخلاقه كلش ها. خلني لحظة أقرأ عنهم الشباب. يقول لك lady is elderly widow أرملة عجوز occupies the old manor house. Okay. Next door to my block of flat. Last we spoke, she seemed to have little time for me and handed me a brooch. She lives alone, and I think it is safe to say that most people in Dahlia View know little to nothing about her. Her house looks like the perfect place to hide someone. Old, dark, and mostly abandoned. أقول لك هذا is my landlord اللي هو الأونر حق السكن and son's garage. Okay. and sons. Okay. يملك garage sons يمكن. اسمه يعني. He holds a lot of power in Dahlia View. واحد يعني غني. Until now he's kept to himself and not given me reason for concern. Most likely because I pay my rent on time. He was very rude when we spoke. And if looks were to go by, I wouldn't put much past them on. Annabella كي ما أدري. Okay, is a housewife and married to Theodore. I believe her sister Shirley Downs is the landlady of the Crows pub. Okay. Annabella seems a little odd when we spoke and had strong opinion of her neighbor, Mr. There. I wouldn't go. طبعا تشك في العجوز هي. As far as to say cruel, but she's a clearly person of harsh views and seems over eager to share. I don't know her well enough to judge just yet, but she has got my attention. Okay, Theo works at Libya and Son's garage. يشتغل في الجراج ميكانيكي مبين من لبسه. I see him leave the garage carrying various musical instruments. Okay, when we spoke he seemed to want his wife Annabella to say a little less to me than she did. Perhaps he didn't want her to give something away. Okay. يعني حس انه ما يبغى يخلي زوجته تعطيني معلومات اكثر. On the other hand, he did eager to join the search party. If experience has taught me anything at all, I should at least keep a sharp eye on him. أنا هذا واحد أكيد عنده شيء. طيب نشوف الباقي. لحظة أروح أكلم هذه.
Miss Downs, do you have a moment?
هذه أخت هذيك.
I'm sorry.
أنابيلا أتوقع.
What did you say?
تشتغل في بار.
I can come back if you need some time.
No, it's fine. I'm just... I can't believe this is happening so close to home. Well, maybe I can.
What do you mean by that?
Not everyone in Dahlia View is as they seem, Mr. Conway.
Miss Downs, who are you referring to?
That son of a bitch right there, with the smug look on his face.
Mr. Levy?
Why not? I mean, what do you really know about him?
Well, I pay him my rent once a fortnight, but no other than
كل واحد
that.
يشك في الثاني.
I didn't really speak to the man.
Well, sadly I do. He's up to something. You must have noticed all the strange deliveries, coming and going at night.
You think he took Charlotte May?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sorry. Miss Downs, what are you basing this on?
Experience, Mr. Conway. You'll excuse me, I need to help the police with their search.
طيب.
There's Mr. Morgan.
هذا تشك في اللاند لورد نفسه الأقرع اللي كلمناه. ممكن هو اللي متسبب في اختطاف الضحية. هذيك أختها أنا بالله لا شاكة في العجوز. يعني أتوقع أنت مع الوقت.
Mr. Morgan must have taken quite a hit.
أوكي هلا خلينا نكلم هذا.
Hello, Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan.
My name is Robert Conway. I live in flat 23.
Yes, I've seen you around, Mr. Conway.
Well, you see, I thought I'd better come over and check you're okay. Some of our neighbors seem to be content just to stare. I'm so sorry to hear about your daughter.
Very kind of you.
بنت
I'm
المخطوفة.
late joining the search. I've been talking to the police for over an hour.
Of course, I understand. The police officer you spoke to was most likely my daughter.
Is that so?
Yes, she's a very determined young lady. If anyone is going to find your daughter, it's her. I was
Okay.
once a private investigator myself, so I know how her mind works.
Well, it's comforting to know I'm surrounded by such competent minds, Mr. Conway.
I'd like to offer my services too, if you permit me.
That's very kind, but I don't have money, I'm afraid.
Mr. Morgan, no. I'm a father myself. I meant to say that I'm at your disposal.
Very generous.
قدم خدماته
The
مجانا.
police said that
All
النحاس
I'm
فيه.
doing is observing and talking to people. And if I find anything, I'll be sure to share it with Catherine.
Catherine.
My daughter, the police officer.
Right, of course.
That reminds me. I have this brooch. Does this mean anything?
اوه كيف يثق
That's
فينا؟
Charlotte Mays.
أكون
You see
بيعطيه.
how the simplest detail can be overlooked, even by the police. Best to have as many eyes on the case, in my experience.
I see your point. May I have it back, please?
Would you mind if I kept onto it for a day or so, in case it was to have some use?
Yes, of course. If you think it would help, I would very much like you to return it back.
As soon as I have something to report back to you. You have my word.
So, where do you suppose you'd begin?
Well, right here.
In Dahlia View?
Yes. It's my experience that it's usually someone who knows that.
Do you mean to tell me that one of my neighbours has my girl?
No, I'm...
والله الصوت نازل شوي. يعني بالكاد أسمعهم. ماستر. لا ما أبغى الميوزك أبغى ديالوج. ارفع الديالوج.
Merely saying that it's a logical place to start.
والله ما زال نازل. خلاه على شيء.
Oh, I see. That's why the police searched my house. Because I'm a suspect, I suppose.
That's the way it works, I'm sorry to say.
So they're not even looking for the real kidnapper.
I can assure you they will be.
Tell me, Mr. Conway, and be honest. Are you going to look for my girl?
I promise you. I'll stop at nothing until I find her. For now, I need you to think of anyone who could have taken Charlotte May.
I don't know.
Think. Anyone or anything at all.
Mr. Conway,
إذا
you
أشك
know
في أي
who
أحد.
could do such a thing.
You see your point. Well, for now, perhaps try to get some rest. Charlotte May needs you to be stronger.
You'll excuse me, Mr. Conway. I'm going to join the search and find my little girl.
That's fair enough, Mr. Morgan. Good night. And good luck.
Good night, Mr. Conway.
طيب. بقى أحد ما كلمنا. كلمنا الكل.
So the kidnapper smashed this during the altercation.
New objective, okay. I should return home to piece together the information I collected. Okay, ترجع. ترجع لهوم. تفكر في المعلومات.
Dad?
وجت بنته اللي هي شرطية.
Catherine, I thought I might bump into you tonight.
Well, I shouldn't be here, what with you living so close. Conflict of interest and all.
Are you finished here?
Almost, yes. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. It's poor Charlotte May I'm worried about. Anyway, look at you. I rarely get to see you in your uniform. You look good.
Thank you. I wish it was a little more comfortable.
Catherine, can I ask, what have you found?
I'm not allowed to tell you. You know that.
ما تقدر حتى تعلم أبوه.
Besides, I don't have all the details myself, and my sergeant isn't exactly forthcoming with new recruits.
Hang in there. You're an asset. They'll come to see how intelligent you are.
Thank you. All I can say is that it looks as though Tony Morgan's daughter has been kidnapped.
Awful news. May I ask why they're searching the Pinewoods? Do they know where the kidnapper went?
No. It's a dead end. We're clueless, but we can't be seen to be doing nothing. And the locals suggested the woods.
Dear God. I perhaps wonder if I should talk to my neighbors again.
Hang on, again?
Yes, Catherine, I've been thinking, and...
Dad,
What?
I know this is happening on your doorstep, but please don't get any ideas.
I'm a naturally curious person, you know that.
You don't do this anymore. Leave it to us, please.
Well, do the police have any ideas?
Dad, I mean it. Don't get involved.
Well, I'd like to help you.
I want to do this on my own.
ما تبغى يتدخل.
I didn't realize what this means to you.
I meant to say, I want to do it the right way. By the book. Please promise me.
Okay, I promise. I'll leave the police work up to you.
ما يقدر. Okay.
Anyway,
لازم
I'd better be
يتدخل.
off. I have to make a statement before the morning press. My sergeant is
لازم تكتب
telling me
تقرير.
something.